What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be installing a leveling kit, a rough country leveling kit at that, on my dad's 2018 F-150. This was like 50 bucks on Amazon, so if you guys want one, we got one. They're super cheap and I'll show you how to put it in. These are on 20 by 10s, the 33. So we're going to try to put this leveling kit in. Hopefully it doesn't rub anymore. So we're gonna get this in the garage, get the wheels off it, and we'll show you what to do. Alright, so we got the leveling kit on this side. Got it kind of figured out how we're gonna do it. So I'm gonna show you how to do this side. So we are not taking this half apart. There's a lot of these other videos tell you to take the whole four-wheel drive, knuckle, everything right off. We are not doing that. What we are gonna do is we're only taking off the tie rod, the two nuts on the bottom of the strut. You are taking these off on both sides for the bottom control arm, and you are taking the three nuts off for the top of the strut. Do these last. Do not take this off. Leave this on. You shouldn't have to move any of these brackets for any of these wires. If we do, I will show you, but I don't know if we did. We did it on the other side because we tried to do it the other way, and I don't have the tool for, the special tool for the vacuum. Most people aren't going to. Well, this is a way to do it without having the tool. So, these adjust your camber. They have slots. They're slotted. So what I'm going to do is mark these with a paint pen. I'll show you how we did the driver's side, or the passenger side, I should say. You see, I drew around the nut, so we knew exactly where to go when we put it back on. You are going to have to get an alignment regardless, so it really doesn't need to be perfect, because you should get an alignment whether you do this or not. You just, anytime you level your truck and change everything, you need an alignment. They'll adjust all that to get it right. But you want to get it close so it drives decent. It's not a lot of whack, in case you got to wait a few days. Like my dad's got to wait a few days to get an alignment because he hasn't scheduled one yet, because he didn't know for sure when we were going to do this, because we were planning on Friday, but now today is Sunday, so it got pushed back a little ways. So I'm going to set this up on time lapse, and you're going to see me pull this part, the two bolts on that, actually, and I'm going to mark those as well. So yeah, mark those, pull pull these two bolts, and then I'm going to pull those two big ones once I have it marked and it dries for a few minutes. So see you on time lapse. Alright, so everything is out. The only thing is we still got the bolts in these two for the lower control arm. So what you're going to do is you take the nuts off, you leave the bolts in, and you just take your jack and put it underneath, and then you lift the jack up to get the pressure off, and then because like all the bolts for this are off, on top are off. It's free just sitting here. So then put the jack, take the pressure off, pull these bolts out, and then you slowly let it down, and it'll just come right out. And then you should be able to lift that out, no problem, with your leveling kit on. And same way it goes back in and put it back together. Alright, so Dad's dragging up right now. He's gonna take the pressure off, and then I'm gonna go underneath and try to pull the bolts through. Alright, so now you just let the back of this fall, and then you see this kind of whole thing comes out. Push down on that. And you can like twist this thing, and like none of these are tight, right? So like now, I'm going to do this. I'm going to need pliers to pop. Yep, she's still kind of stuck into the bottom yet. Alright, so just normal pry bars. Yeah, stick her in on the bottom, and you should be able to just pry that baby right out of there. wondering, we are doing an exhaust video while we're doing this, so I'm doing 2 videos at once. So if you want to hear what that sounds like when it's done, watch that video next. It'll be up in about 2 days. Alright, so you might have to fight the threads a little bit to pull it out of the control arm down here, because these are threaded. But once you set out, use a pry bar and pry it out, and then yeah, we'll just put the leveling kit on, and it goes in the same way. And then you just gotta kind of finagle it with the jack underneath here. We ran a ratchet strap across to pull it in when we lift it up. Just it makes it a little bit easier. So I will show you guys how to put this on now, the leveling kit for the rough country. All right, guys. So for the rough country, there's multiple holes. These ones here, these 3 indented ones that are way down, these will be mounted on top of the strut. They give you supplied hardware. Use the new bolts. Don't use your old ones. They don't fit in here. They supply you new bolts that go up through here. The nuts are on here just to hold the bolts because there's nothing to hold the back ones. On the 2014 and up, they use A side out. They're a little A side and B side. A side you put on for the 2014 up on both sides. I'm pretty sure I'd have to look again for the 2009 to 13, I think it was, or 2009 to 14, I don't remember. It was A on the driver's side, B on the passenger side. Don't quote me on that. So on the 2014 and up, per the instructions, A side is out on both driver's side and passenger side, and you'll put all 3 bolts to the lower of the 2 holes on each of these. So the lower holes on the bottom, okay? So what we're gonna do, these can only go on one way. So, you know, sometimes it'll take me a couple tries, you know, until you get it to the right spot. See? And then it'll go on like that. So you put washers on. And then the new locking nylon nuts. I just snug them up with this because we're going to torque them to 30 foot-pounds. So this part's easiest for 2 people. Let's see if I can do it on my own. Okay, it is possible with 1 person. You just got to squeeze really tight and use your feet on the bottom to kind of try to hold it from spinning. There, then we're tight. And it is ready to go back in the truck. Take the A side facing me. So make sure you have the nuts, take the nuts back up top. And then I said A side out.
Yeah. So a couple of too expensive to sleep over the rides. O'Reilly's not cheaper, but they don't have the long concept.
You know what you need if you gotta get something else or whatever, just get it and I'll be back. So when you once you get it set up in there, start a nut on top, like to hold the strut up in there, because you can see the bottom is not in. So I'm going to try to record this the best I can. I'm going to kind of have to stick myself in here in order to do it, so I don't know how well we'll be able to get it. But we're going to try to jam this in here first before we put the jack on. Alright, get the holes lined up, grab the jack, stuck her in there, and start slowly lifting it up. So when you do this, you have to make sure these line up, and you have to make sure the sway bar lines up. Start both of those. Once you start those, then you work on the 2 back ones for the control arm. That is the easiest way we figured out how to do this. So we're going to do these first, okay? And then we'll move on to the big ones. We'll show you how to do those as well. Again, this is easier with 2 people. One to line stuff and the other one to run the jack. Okay, that's good right there. Good. No. So I don't tighten any of these until we get the back ones on. That way everything's got a little play in it to make it a little easier. Otherwise it just makes everything kind of stiff and hard to move around. pull it back a ways if you can. That'll keep pulling. So this is where the strap comes in handy. As you can see, it needs to go in a little ways. So we hook the ratchet strap. There's a little bar in here. Try to get the camera in here when I do this. This little bar right here. We hook the strap to both sides, and that's how we pull it in. As you can see, this needs to go in a ways. Okay, we're pulling our jack over again. Jack's standing in for you. Okay, that might be close enough. Where's that big bolt? Oh. Okay, let her down a little bit. Okay, go up with just a hair. Good. That's all it was. To adjust it, usually just take the hammer and tap it somewhere. So you get her in the spot and tighten her up. Alright, once you guys get those back in, and start putting everything else together. So we're going to time lapse the rest of it, throwing everything back together. And that's it. Leveling kit's in. Alright, leveling kit is done. To do the top bolts to the top of the strut, I found out it's easier to go through the top on the F-150s, at least on the F-150 with the 5.0. I don't remember how it is in EcoBoost because it's been like 4 years since I did mine. But for the top ones, it was easier to go through the top. Make sure you tighten everything back up, how it came out, and with the wheel back on, that's it. And if you want to torque everything, probably recommended look up your torque specs or contact your dealer for torque specs. And then, like I said, remember to do a full alignment, and so they can adjust everything perfectly so your tires don't wear funny. And then that'll be it. That's all there is to it. We'll get some shots once we get it out of the garage. We're doing the exhaust right now, so make sure you check out that video. And yeah, we'll get some more shots when we get this thing outside. Yep. Alright, we got the Rough Country sticker on the back window. You wanted that up there. It's pretty good. This thing looks so good. Back's jacked up right now. We're working on the exhaust.
Last time I went through, all 4 of my fucking tires scraped against the fucking bar. Scratched the piss out of every single one of them.
Yeah, that's why I want to scratch your window. Trying to get a picture of it before he gets too far out.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Just your antenna. Oh yeah, that looks so much better. Yeah, well, you will have to do a little trimming, and we might have to try to spread those bars with a porta power. But yeah, it looks so much better. Oh yeah.
I didn't see it on the level.
Yeah, it looks a lot better. I like it. Turned out good.
We'll see you later.
All right, see you later. So, with that being said, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, go into the giveaway on. Oh my God, he's really getting on her.
Hey, dumbass.
He's gonna get Polo. He's gonna be like, oh, got Polo. I'm gonna hit the phone call later. He's not careful. Like I said, enter the giveaway on Instagram and to win all this chemical guy stuff that I got here. 100% free to enter. So make sure you enter it. Like, comment, subscribe. Catch you guys in the next one.